Yeah, I've got it. I'll ask 7 questions one by one. First, as always, tell me about yourself. Then I'll adjust difficulty naturally. Ready? Here we go. First question. Tell me about yourself.
Hello, my name is Dipanshu. I am a full stack web developer from Delhi. If I talk about my qualification, I completed my diploma in computer engineering from AIT. And during my diploma days, I find an interest in web development. So after completing my graduation in BCA, I joined IntelliPath full stack development course, and now I am focused on MERN Stack development. For development, I use in for front end in use React and Tailwind. For my backend, I use Node.js and Express, and for my database, I use MongoDB. I also use Git, Vercel, Blender, and MongoDB Atlas for deployment of my project. One of my recent projects is personal finance tracking app that extract data from bank video statement and so categorize spending for visual presentation on dashboard. In this project, I also use Bikeloop and JavaScript for authentication and encryption. Right now, I am improving my backend skills and work on enhancing my communication, aiming for a full-time role in full stack development.
Nice. Solid intro. Let's go second question. Can you explain how the JavaScript event loop works?
JavaScript is a single-threaded language that executes only one task at a time. To perform or handle asynchronous operation, event loop helps JavaScript. So whenever there is an function or math event that takes some time, JavaScript put that task into backend, and whenever it completed, event loop put take that task from web APIs, and the task is went into a fallback queue. And event loop check this is micro queue task or macro queue task. And whenever the call stack empty, event loop continuously check call stack and push the callback item into call stack whenever it is empty. So all over we can say event loop help JavaScript to perform asynchronous operation and keep free main thread or code stack.
Good. You hit the core pieces. Next one. Can you walk me through the difference between call, apply, and bind?
Call, apply, and bind. All of these methods are used to change this binding. First one is call. Call immediately invoke and it take multiple parameters. Second one is apply. Apply also immediately invoke, but it take only one parameter at a time. And third one is bind. Bind is not immediately invoked. Instead, it return functions or callback, and we execute that function whenever we need it.
Nice. Now, one more JS core shallow copy versus deep copy. Explain and give a quick example.
Shallow copy and deep copies are the two methods to copy an object or an array. In shallow copies, it copies only the first level of elements or functions. For example, if there is a nested array or object, then shallow copies only the first level and share the same reference for the nested ones. And on the other hand, deep copy is used to copy a complete object or an array. And whenever there is a nested object, it also copies that nested array and object. So we can say shallow copy share the same nested array reference or element reference, and deep copy copies the entire element. And if we change any element or methods in an array or in an object in deep copy, it does not depend on the main array or a main object.
Good. Now let's switch gears to React. When would you when would you use a controlled component versus an uncontrolled component in React?
Okay. A control component or uncontrolled component are there two ways to in React to handle an variable or data. A control component is used whenever there is a form handling. So we use control component because it first change in the use state. It first changed by using use state and then so changes in on the UI. On the other hand, uncontrolled components are not handled by React. It is directly controlled by DOM itself. So whenever we have to, we don't need to use state. We can use uncontrolled component. And uncontrolled component are used by user app.
Great. Next, what's the difference between authentication and authorization?
Authentication and authorization, these are the two methods for, and these two methods are used for the security purpose. First one is authentication. It is the step one whenever we have to log in a website or any other software. This is the step one. Authentication check who is the user. That means it check is the user is available or exist in the database or not. After authentications, after authentication, the authorization uh, can be executed. In authorization, it check what the user can allow to do. That means if a user is logging, so authorization ensure that how much data or how much task a user can perform. If there is an authorization, a user can handle a task or maybe remove a user or add a user. So we can say authentication is single time and authorization is used whenever a user try to access some features in an app or in an application.
Good. Final question. What is normalization versus denormalization in databases?
Normalization and denomination both are used to improve performance in our database. First one is normalization. Normalization is used in normalization. We divide a large table into a small group of tables by using relationships. It is used to reduce redundancy and make our search faster. But on the other hand, denomination is used whenever we have to join two or more tables for a single table, and it is used for fast searching query. Using denomination, we can avoid a complex join performance, or it is easy for execute for get a query in denomination.
Nice. That's all seven. Thanks.
Please give feedback.
Overall, I'd put it around an 8 out of 10 for a fresher. Strong grasp of core concepts, your structure's solid. The big thing to work on is clarity and trimming the filler words. Try tightening each answer to under a minute. Use concrete examples and finish with a crisp takeaway. For normalization, stress that it reduces redundancy and improves integrity, while denormalization trades that for reads. If this were real, I'd move you forward, but I'd expect more concise and polished communication next round.
Thank you.